Hello, I'm Mrs. Collins, and today we're going to talk about your next photo assignment. It's all about exploring depth of field and learning how to control what is in focus in your viewfinder. So, what is DOF? DOF is an abbreviation that stands for depth of field. Depth of field is defined as the distance between the nearest and furthest objects in focus within your viewfinder. In other words, it's the zone of acceptable sharpness within a photograph, the area that will appear in focus. In every picture, there is an area of the image in front or behind the subject that will appear in focus. So, what controls the depth of field of a photograph? The distance you are to your subject and the aperture setting on the camera, and the focal length of the lens. So it depends on how close or far you are to your object. It depends what lens you have on your camera, and it depends what aperture setting you have selected. The closer your subject is to the camera, the shallower your depth of field becomes. Therefore, moving further away from your subject will help you deepen the depth of field in your focus. It is your turn to explore and experiment with how to create shallow depth of field or deep or wide depth of field in your photographs. The subject of this assignment is your choice. It can be portraits, it can be photographs of objects, it can be images of nature, food, or if you have different ideas, let me know. But it's a good idea to maybe practice with taking pictures of objects first so you can get familiar with your aperture settings on your camera before you get a model involved in your experiment. So, what are you going to turn in for this project? I'm asking you to submit your 3 very best shallow depth of field photos and 3 wide or deep depth of field photos. You can submit your photos in Echo as a link to your Google folder, or you can create a PDF contact sheet. Either way will work. Here on the entry document is an example image, and my image source is right here. This particular portrait shows an example of shallow depth of field, where the model or the person is in focus, but the background is blurry. This one down here shows an example of deep or wide depth of field, where this boat and the background and everything is clear. And as things get closer and closer to the camera, they become less clear. So, to help you get your focus set just right, here's a tip. The larger your aperture, the smaller your depth of field. The smaller your aperture, the larger your depth of field. Remember, aperture is confusing, so a large aperture equals a small f number, and a small aperture equals a large f number. I have some charts available to help you with this in the classroom. I cannot wait to see your photos. I'm here to help you along the way, and I hope you have fun practicing shallow and wide depth of field. I'm here to help you, and thanks for watching.